Okay, we're getting more than I thought.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try to share. Nick, can you let me know if this is sharing?
Yeah, that's on your screen now.
I'm
you have the
sharing my
slides up?
screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I guess when it records, anyone online can't see it, is what Melissa told me. But you can see it? I just don't know if it's recording.
So far I can only see, I believe I can see what John is sharing.
Okay,
Yeah, you should be able to see whatever's on that main screen and that little red button up there saying it's recording.
yeah, so for some reason Melissa said she didn't see this presentation on her end when she walked the following day.
Hmm.
But, okay, but if Nick, you're online and you see it,
Yeah, so far so good. Unless you wanted to try, John, if you can stop sharing just so that we can cross-check that for the recording. I just want to verify. All right, go ahead and try again, Courtney. There might be,
yeah, this,
because I think
yeah.
I've been with you in person for when these things happen. Can you move it from one screen into the other?
Or entire screen. At the very top, you click entire screen.
Oh.
Then you pick that. And you hit okay. Now you're sharing that screen.
Okay, so
So whatever you
let's,
see here and whatever he shares, they'll.
All right, so like right now I'm seeing a 4 square.
okay, so if John, can you share? I don't, we'll just see if that,
What's that?
are you able to share? Or it just kicks me out from sharing?
All
Yes.
right, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, let's just go ahead and proceed.
Okay. You ready for me to start, or do you have other things?
Yeah.
I just need to do roll call really quick. So David, here, Christian, Taryn, Kelly.
Here.
Jana,
Here.
Megan.
Here.
It should be all good. There's nobody online for public comment, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're all good to go.
And then minutes, we'll just have to do that.
We can let them go first and do minutes after.
Okay. All right, we're ready for you, John and Aaron.
Okay. Nick, do you want to preface with anything, or just have me start?
No, nothing really. I guess just in case this team hasn't met everybody that's on this side of the screen so far. My name is Nick Bennett. I'm the project coordinator with CRA on staff. John and Aaron are with us from API. They had been here in the past, I forget how many weeks ago, for an introductory.
One month ago.
Yeah, 1 month ago for some introductions and just to reintroduce where we are in the second phase of this project. But today they are really just here to show you what was applied after the feedback was received and hopefully move towards your recommendation in the design as it's presented today. So John, I'll let you take it away.
Sure. Thank you, Nick. Thank you all for being here today and allowing us to present. This is the final presentation for design development, and we are looking for a vote today for you to approve this with or without any changes that might come up. So just as a reminder of what we're doing in this phase, we've been refining the concepts that were developed in the first phase of the project that was done about 2 years ago. We're working with your CAC as well as 3 others on this multi-district project. We've had a whole series of meetings with various stakeholders, mobility, with our civil engineer, Rob, who's sitting there in the room. The Tampa Downtown Partnership is part of the team. And just various entities, THEA, FDOT, whatnot. We have developed the signage and even further developed it from what we presented last month. And we have physically located all of the signs in the field and developed all of the messages. So there are 2 documents that you have. The first one is more of the design presentation. The second one gets into the nitty-gritty of exact locations for all the signs and for the messages. And so today we're kind of for your CAC, we are at the end of our design development. We have for one of the CACs we're presenting tomorrow, Central Park, and then the other two we're presenting in January since they don't have December meetings. And the plan is we will be presenting to the CRA board in February for design development. We are already starting to work in the phase 2, the documentation phase. And that's where our Rob's team, FTC, civil engineers are coming in, and we'll be developing the detailed drawings that are required for permitting. And once we get approval on the design from the CRA board in February, we'll begin detailing our drawings at that time. After that, we get into bid coordination. That'll be working in conjunction with the city. And then the last phase is construction administration, where once the fabricator has been selected, we will be working with them to review drawings and locating signs with them in the field. And a lot of things happen during that phase. So this is I'll zoom in. This is the final design for the signage for Tampa Heights. This first one is what we call a district identity sign. We have 2 or 3 of them that I think just 2 that we've located in the district. We originally had planned to locate 4, but once we did our field checks, there really was only a need for 2 of them. We have our vehicular directional signs. We have a couple different sizes that we're working with. I believe for all the messages that we have in Tampa Heights, it would be the larger size for every sign. And then we have our vehicular or our pedestrian directional signs, which are double-sided.
Is this the actual colors?
Correct. So this incorporates, you may not have been in the last meeting, but we separately had worked with the Tampa Downtown Partnership on the neighborhood branding. And this was the neighborhood branding developed for Tampa Heights. And so we've incorporated the colors and the patterning for the neighborhood branding into the signage. And that was the intent. When we were working on both projects at the same time, that was the intent, because we wanted to identify neighborhoods and districts throughout downtown Tampa. And then this shows you some of the other neighborhoods: Downtown Core, the River Arts District, Water Street, Tampa, and then Central Park and Channel District. These are the destination names that are being included on for all 4 CACs or CRAs throughout downtown. Those shown in black are destinations that are on the current wayfinding program that's in place. And then the blue ones are new destinations or new names, such as Benchmark International Arena. And then this is representative of the destinations that are within Tampa Heights or will be used within Tampa Heights, such as historic Franklin Street. We also have, based on feedback from the meeting last month, we have added some additional destinations that are for pedestrian signs only: historic 7th Avenue, Stetson Tampa Law Center, and the Hillsborough County Bar Association. This shows and the solid colors are the 4 CRAs that we are working with, as well as West Riverfront, which is not part of this project. It's just the other 4. And then the outlines are representative of the Tampa Downtown Partnerships Special Services District. And so that's where the neighborhood branding comes into place. And this shows all of the signage that will be located within Tampa Heights. We have 6 vehicular directionals. We have 4 pedestrian directionals, and then we have 2 of the district identity signs. And then this is very small, but the other document that you have has all of the messages and sign locations for those of you who want to review the exact messages in the exact locations. When we did our field survey, the cost of a sign, and I think I mentioned this at the meeting last month, the cost of a sign to mount to an existing pole versus if it needs to have its own pole and mount in the ground is a lot more expensive. To incorporate its own pole and to have the foundation is probably 3 to 4 times the cost versus when we can just mount a sign to an existing pole. So when we did our site checks, we tried to locate as many as possible on existing poles. That's Rob's team will be looking into several of them are Tico poles. So they'll be looking into ensuring that we are able to mount to the poles that we'd like to. In this district, there were also a few poles that are private poles. And so we're hoping that we can mount to those poles, and Rob's team will be looking into that as well. And then this is just giving an example of 3 of the vehicular directional signs, just how the messages lay out. So this one is the only sign that has 3 directions on it. We have, with FDOT rules, we can do a maximum of 4 destinations per sign. It's a maximum of 2 lines per destination. And we have to use 4-inch copy for the speed zone that we're in. And arrows have to be located below the destination name, and you have to separate each arrow or group of arrows with a line. We also, you'll see a faint blue line. We've incorporated this so that if say destination name changes, it makes it a little more easier to come in with a patch that looks intentional versus the patch being obvious. And I can zoom in if you need to see that better. And then we've been soliciting ballpark pricing from 3 different fabricators. We also have a fabricator that we received ballpark pricing from 2 years ago. And most of them are very similar in price. And so the good news for you is that with the signs that we have, and if we're able to locate on existing poles, as we're hoping, we're actually under budget. We have a budget of $140,000, and we're coming in at just over $99,000. Again, this is budget pricing. You know, there will definitely be probably a range of prices when this is bid, because it will be it will be a public bid. So there'll be fabricators that will have to submit qualifications, and we'll have to work with the city to ensure that they are qualified. Do you want me to get into the details of each sign location, or do you have questions about what we've just shown?
I just had one question. I know it's not in our CRA, but is the downtown partnership, are they covering any signage on the North Franklin Street corridor?
That's a great question. So we have talked, so you're talking about this area?
Riverfront.
Correct, Yellow Brick Road?
Yep, yep. We are working with a partnership on signage for Franklin Street, for historic Franklin Street. And, but a discussion that we've had with them is that, and we have submitted a proposal to them to, incorporate this signage into this area, the Yellow Brick Row. It's something that they're holding on for right now. I think they're trying to find funding for it. So there is a hope and a goal that that will happen. And whether it's them or there might be another entity that funds that, the partnership is working to try to make that happen. But as far as I know, nothing's been put into place yet.
Okay. Are you aware of what that rough budget would be or how much funding they're looking for?
To extend the signage over here?
Correct.
No, because we haven't located signs over there. I don't think that there would need to be many signs. I think that there would be, there might be a couple pedestrian directionals, maybe 3 or 4 vehicular directionals. So it's something, it's not in our scope to look at that area, but just based on our knowledge of the area, I don't think it's an extensive scope.
Okay.
What I also don't know is if there be sufficient existing poles to mount signs to the vehicular directionals versus it being a new pole, because there's a big difference. I'll go to that page just so you get an idea. So a vehicular directional, the fabrication install price for mounting to an existing pole is $5,000, and for if it requires a new pole and a foundation, it's almost 3 times that, at just over $14,000. And for the district identity sign, it's an even bigger swing, less than 2,000 and then over 10,000.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you ask a question is a possibility of maybe extending where the signage?
Oh, no, I was just curious, like, is that area of the city going to be covered, or is it just CRA boundaries? But I guess
It's
right now it's
just CRA boundaries.
okay, that's fine. I'm sure, I guess downtown partnership will figure it out for the funding for that section. Anybody else have any other questions?
All right, and Nick, just to confirm, we wanted to discuss a motion in regard to design and locations, but that's.
Yeah, correct. So everything that has been developed in this first phase is location, design all up until this point. Everything presented today, we're looking for a motion to recommend proceeding tonight with everything presented.
What's the exact wording we should use for that? I guess just
So it was
I'd say
design.
the design as presented.
design and location test.
Yeah,
This also included a budget in general, right? So, but you already have a
which
budget.
is less than, yeah, we already have a budget.
And that's already been approved anyways, right? Okay, so basically need a motion just to approve the design and location that's presented by API.
Yes,
Then would you like to make that motion? No?
Was just being shy or?
I just don't really know what to say.
It's basically a motion to approve the multi-district wayfinding signage design and location as presented by API.
That motion, do I need to fully say that?
I typed it in, I put.
Okay.
a Motion to approve the multi-district wayfinding design and locations as presented by API.
And then do we have a second?
I second.
Ooh, it's a fight.
All right, who wants
Any,
to?
No one wants to go for the big
Any
dog.
discussion? No discussion? All right, so vote, anyone in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Gonna pass unanimously.
Wonderful.
All right,
Great.
thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks, John.
All right.
thank
Anything
you.
else? All right. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
All right, see you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
bye.
everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. The only other action item was the parliament.
Yeah, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting? I wasn't here. Okay, we get a motion to approve last meeting minutes? Or if there's any changes before that?
I got your name spelled right, Jan.
You did. I'll motion to approve the minutes last week or last month.
Okay, do we have a second? Any discussion? None. All right. Vote on the motion, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Then it's just the tracking sheet capital projects.
Yeah, I mean, so that's in your packet. Raj gave an update to the CRA board last Thursday. Really, because you cycled through each of the CACs and the chair, or the vice chair of the CACs gave a report to the CRA board. And so Raj gave his update on Campus Riverfront last Thursday morning. We talked about the wayfinding signage project and the roundabout artwork sculptures that we received 159 responses. So you're on the selection committee. Yeah, so you might have to break that down into 2 meetings to look at 159 possibilities.
Hopefully there's a way to filter them out quicker.
Yeah, so that's moving forward. That's
So
fine.
the process has been closed at this point.
Yeah, October 31st. I
Correct,
believe.
October 31st to close, December, I think, 4th, we'll have the first meeting to go through the 159. There'll probably be a second meeting in January, February to finish it. And out of that, 5 get selected, I think. And then at that point, those 5 will be the public meetings where everyone gets to come review and put in their feedback between that final 5. And then once that's voted and chosen, then it goes towards production. How many weeks did it say? It's almost a year to give them 40 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
40 weeks for production. So next early summer would be not next, 2027 early summer would be the install of whatever's chosen.
Is that,
And what are the I'm sorry,
so is that just for the Palm and Highland roundabout sculpture? Because the one above it says it's still working on the artist call. But like with that 159 artists be for like, would you choose for both? Out of that 159?
I think this is just for Palm and Highland, right?
Yes,
We're
that's-
doing one at a time?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that would they be able to complement the second one based off what the first one is selected?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how Corey worded it, because it would make sense whoever's applying now, if they would be applying for the second too, if it's related
Yeah.
projects. So I guess once we see the applications, we'll see how they're all submitted and presented them.
Yeah, hopefully there's 2 shining stars that we just proceed with. 2, yeah.
Because I guess if you're going with somebody who has related sculptures or whatever it might be, how do you do a second call when you already know who's going to be doing it on the roundabout?
Well, good Corey question.
Yep.
can we maybe get an indication of that for the next meeting? How it's going?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, because you'll have already met December.
yeah.
We don't have a December, no CACs, none of the CACs meet in December, so January I'll be able to report out what happened in the selection meetings. At least the one selection in December, unless there's two.
And what's the Baldo sculpture? Because I don't think I've.
So that is something that our CRA board member Vieira motioned to have installed. So that was a direction from a CRA board member to put the Baldo statue, and it was actually anywhere in the city, and then Corey had to research opportunities of where to put the statue, and they narrowed in on waterworks.
So it's an existing statue somewhere?
No, this is gonna be a fabricated statue. But a new fabricated statue with a base, lighting, and so that's to be installed by August of 2026.
Who exactly is that?
Well, I can send you some work or writing on that. I'll do that.
I'll ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, maybe that. Vieira is very informed about Mr. Baldomero.
Yeah, I've just never heard that name before. That's what I was curious.
Yeah, I guess he has a few statues in the district, or not district, in the city of Tampa. So something about him jumping on a grenade and giving his life for the rest of his troop. That's a snap. That's very short.
Okay.
There's a statue for sure.
I have a question. I don't know if it's too late, but Karen's not here, so she represents the Tampa Heights Association. But are they able to put the Tampa Heights Garden on the sign?
Tampa Heights.
Oh, the community garden?
Oh.
Yeah.
We could, I don't know, any community
I
garden.
think it would be amazing. It'd be great.
Well, is it, well, there, sorry, is there,
Dealing with that.
is this a temporary installation or is this a permanent and,
The community garden.
yeah, the community garden?
Yeah. So I sit as business chair. Tampa Heights Civic Association and Tampa Heights Junior Civic Association has been around for a really long time.
Mhm.
I can't say anything's permanent, to be honest.
Because that's on FDOT land, right? They get the rights right now? Yeah.
Well, there's a criteria, I don't, John's not on anymore, but, you know, there's a criteria for, you know, so if it's a public entity or thing like that, like Meacham Gardens right now is on, you know, for Central Park, but it's hosted by the Housing Authority and it's pretty permanent. I mean, CRA gave money to help, you know, create that many years ago.
Yeah.
And it's on there, but it's also intended to be there until they build the school, which may never happen depending on population.
Where's the boundary for the downtown partnership? Does it go to 275 on Palm? Or is it?
They expanded a few years back and they got into Tampa Heights, but I don't remember the exact boundary, but they did it so they could get the shuttle service up there when I was here.
Okay. Because if the downtown partnership goes out to that 275 boundary, then maybe on the signage for like North Franklin, maybe they could find funding for additional signage on Palm for the gardens out there. I guess that'll be a question for the downtown partnership. Because that would be their jurisdiction. Or not jurisdiction, but
Well, where's the garden at? I mean, I don't know.
it's like north of Central and Palm. Just
Yeah, it's just outside the district though.
of the CRA.
Mhm.
It's right by, like, close to 275 and right there. So it's not within the CRA.
Well, we have some signs that point to things that are in other CRAs, like point to Ebor.
Yeah.
Things that are that
or
way,
like-
but-
like
but they're-
the street's not in the CRA, it's on the signage.
Right. And because it's selling, but the sign has to be located in the district.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because whatever money you spend has to be within the boundaries, but you can tell them, hey, go that way
Yeah.
to Ray J or whatever, you know, like, hey, that way.
But like we discussed on North Franklin, if the downtown partnership could find funding, maybe if they have additional.
Oh, well, sure, if they want to do their own sign, of course, API is, you know, looking at that
Yeah,
with them, but Yeah, there were signs that weren't necessarily CRA funded.
Yeah.
There's again, I don't remember the exact criteria, but for example, like the History Center, some of those things, those are public venues and destinations. A lot of people are like, hey, can we get our name on the sign? Well, it's not a commercial sign. It's intended to direct you to the major items, major things are in the area.
Okay, so, just to best relay for the next board meeting, I'll let them know that the community garden wouldn't be able to be on the sign as it's not a part of the CRA district.
Correct, but they could reach out to the downtown partnership, and that might be an option. Like, there's no funding for it right now, but if they do find funding, like for North Franklin Street or the Yellow Brick Road, there's no funding for signage there either. But if they do like source something within city funding, then at that point, I guess they could explore that type of signage, like just lump it all in together. Because none of that's in the CRA either.
So, but it wouldn't be on the sign like this, like how Franklin Street is. It would just be a sign that was just another random sign.
Now, I'd assume the downtown partnership wants to use the same
Yeah.
style and
It
everything.
would still be the same language of signage. It's just the funding can't be spent outside the district. So in that North Franklin area,
Yeah.
that you would
They
have,
can release it
they
with the
would
same
have to
style.
fund it because it's.
It's the same manufacturer and everything, but it'll just be funded by a different source.
And it would have to be designed and all that stuff with them leading it because.
Yeah.
She can't do work outside the boundary.
When you say them, when you say
It's my downtown partnership. Yeah, and so as the CRA as an entity can only spend money within the boundaries. And you can do advertising outside your boundaries of saying, hey, there's things here. But when you actually put physical things like a sign, they have to be within the boundaries. So even some of these ones where the boundaries go down the center line road, we have, in some cases, be on the other side of the street. So we'd stay in the boundary, And it's like, well, that's not the normal way, because most of the time you have signs on the right, because most people drive on the right side of the road. Well, a couple of them we have to go on the left side because that's the boundary. It's like, well, that's how we got around it, but it's not the norm, but it works.
So to get a sign, we have to find a way to get money to pay for the sign. And how much is the sign?
Well, that's what the numbers that we're showing on that table. What that was, so it depends on the type of sign. The type of signs, if you look on the page 15 of the packet, it was saying that, if you're posting on an existing pole, if you find a pole to put it on, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. You have to fabricate a DOT pole with the breakaway footing and the foundations for it and have the wind loading. That's where that $14,000 or $15,000 comes in to buy that pole, because it's gonna be more expensive. And again, that's why we were trying to save as much money as we could to find an existing pole. Now, if you want to explore that with the partnership and say, hey, wouldn't it be great if we had a pole right here and, if we had these things on it, I'm sure that they'd listen to you. Again, how they fund it. And if you were to do a fundraiser of some kind and say, hey, let's, trying to do a grassroots thing.
Okay, so as a whole, if you have to do the whole thing, it's about 15,000.
If it depends on, like I said, there's like, the different kinds of poles that were on here. It depends on which one you want. Are you want vehicle directional or you want pedestrian? Where were you thinking of it being? Because it makes a difference from the size.
What are these?
So on each one of these at the bottom, it'll tell you what it is. Like the first one's the district, then the other ones are vehicle directional. Then there's identity ones, and then there's pedestrian. Yeah. I'm pointing to, it should be pointing to, you get it. Right. So in those numbers there, follow the numbers on here. So it'll say, the IST1, that's what that one costs. If it's a vehicle directional, that's what that one. If it's a parking one, is that one.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, if we have all the funds it needs to get one of these signs, what would the next step be?
If you had, say,
If we had all the funds needed to get a sign, what would the next step be?
well,
Send an email to someone?
Yeah, you would talk to Karen Kress at the Downtown Partnership. She's the one that's advocated for this for the past 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
And she's the one that would, kind of pulled all these two districts together to start thinking holistically. But because those are outside the CRA area, we can't fund it. They can fund it. They don't have funds allocated for that. But if you say, hey, I've got a donor, or we did some fundraising, and you approach them, I'm sure they'd be happy to help you.
Okay, so if we have the money, we just tell, I'm sorry, her name Karen?
Karen Kress,
Karen Kress. And then she will,
then you would ask her to help you. And then you would have to work with her.
How can you restart with her?
Yeah.
Try to-
Right, yeah, I don't want you to show up. Well, I gotta check. I want to do that, but,
Just see what, and I don't know what it, what, if it's on their task list to do Franklin right away, or how far down the road that is, and maybe coordinating with her on timing.
I just want to have as much info as possible to present to the board, and I'm trying to anticipate, like, what are they gonna ask me? Because usually Taryn is in the hot seat, and I wanna, like, say something.
When does the board meet, your board meeting?
Good question.
Because if you reach out to Karen before then.
I'm not like, our next meeting, if we have a December one, it's in December. I know that we're planning the community garden dinner, holiday dinner. But if we have a December meeting, then it's
There's,
second week of December.
yeah, so I would just reach out to Karen, and then she'd be able to provide you with the partnerships timeline, because they're completely separate entity, they're not part of the city.
Is your email? No, your email's probably
It's Karen Kress, KRESS, with the Tampa Downtown Partnership. I don't know what her email is, but
I'll
it's
tell you right now. It is kkress@tampasdowntown.com. You're welcome.
So can we go back to the Baldemaro sculpture for a second? And I'm still trying to understand how this works, but that kind of all of a sudden appeared on our schedule with $150,000 budget.
It was,
How is that?
because the CRA board member, Liz Vieira, had given that direction to staff, which they ultimately do control the budget and determine how the funding is spent.
So they don't have to go through any of the rest of us. He can just say, I want 150 grand.
Yeah, he did in this instance, he did. He just made a motion at the CRA board meeting, asking that this statue be fabricated and a location be determined. And I didn't know which CRA district it was going to land, but it did end up landing at Waterworks Park. And so, so we had Soul Walk money that I asked Robin Nye, our art department manager, if she thought she would be using that Soul Walk money that was in the Tampa Heights Riverfront budget. She didn't think so, so we moved the Soul Walk money to make possible the Baldemaro statue. So we didn't take it, Soul Walk,
Soul Walk,
SOU.
as in, SOUL, like soul, like a, it's a art walk that is, based on, the whole jazz and, the whole music thing that's happening for many years.
So that money was budgeted for Soul Walk, but it wasn't going to be utilized after all, so that those were the monies that we moved to make the Baldemaro statue possible, not taking any money out of infrastructure.
Does Soul Walk's not happening anymore?
Well, it's just not immediate on her radar,
okay.
from my understanding, so because of the need of the money, with Vieira making a motion to make it happen, we wanted to take unutilized money in the immediate future to use toward that.
Okay.
Welcome. Unless anyone has any member announcements. Was the end of the agenda.
I did have one question for the always forget how to say it, probably. Four Cardis Park, is that right? The one in front of the, Bush Ross, the park there. The Four Cardis.
I know what park you're talking about.
Yeah, I
hear the name.
Right in front of Bush Ross,
Yeah.
fronting Tampa Street.
Is it a city park?
Yeah, so it's within our CRA boundaries. But that, like, if someone wants to host the events there, do we have grants within the CRA that could help them?
Not for events. That was with 2019 legislation, we had to just do away with funding any events with
Oh.
CRA $10. So we can't assist in events any longer.
Okay, but no one's ever held any event there. Is there a process?
They would have to reach out to the Parks Department. There's an individual there, April Cormier.
Okay.
She permits events on inside city parks, public
Okay.
parks. So she has to, take in the application and then issue the permit.
Okay. Because I don't think that park's ever been activated. I mean, besides by the homeless.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
By the
The
old.
Phil Board?
Yeah, requires.
Request.
I don't hear that thing, so I've never been to this.
Was,
Oh, yeah, I remember when they were feeding those people there all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I mean, they had the fence up around it for.
Yeah, that's just a few years ago.
We used to have security that would take people to their cars.
And it is up to the promoter. So when the promoter contacts April in the permitting events department area, they say, I want my event at Julian B. Lane. I want my event at Curtis Hicks, and I want, so if they don't select that park as running their event there.
Yeah, so somebody was asking me, like, is it available to be able to activate if they want to host an event? So I just wanted to let them know.
Yeah,
Because that would be good. Okay.
So if you want to know about Mr. Bob Romero,
did you jump on a grenade?
so it was September 15, 1950, during the Battle of Inchon. While preparing to throw a grenade into an empty bunker, he was wounded in the chest and the grenade dropped and then he jumped on it to save all of his fellow troops. And, of course, he was killed. He was given the Medal of Honor posthumously. So,
So he's got a school in Tampa, a nursing home, and a public pool named after him. He's got a lot.
And he has some
He
statues.
got a statue.
And he has some plaques and other statues.
Riding, falling, and grenade and things stuff after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
He
quite-
had to go to war though.
Huh? He's trying to find parking downtown. So
Roger,
I'm watching my parking meter.
I know, me too.
if you don't mind my asking, so you start with 159 submittals. How do you then whittle it down to 5? Do you have a criteria? Do you score on? How does
That's what we need to discuss with Corey, so the head of the arts, he's not there, yeah, the arts
Or
department.
CRA.
With the CRAs. So he'll know the whole process, so that's why, I guess the December 5th meeting, he'll explain to us.
Could you share that with us?
That'd be great.
I can give you a little bit of heads up because when I was in Courtney's position, we did that for the Channel District and a couple others. And generally, you'll get the 159, they'll sort through and go, okay, the real goofy ones usually kind of whittle themselves out, and then they'll kind of whittle that down to about 25, 30, and then you'll go through a packet like this, a lot thicker. And as a group, you'll start whittling those down and saying, okay, let's pick 5 or 6 of these artists to interview. And then they'll do interviews. And then a lot of times there's a second round where they take and start developing their idea a little bit more to present, hey, if you pick me, I'm gonna do this thing.
Yeah, I think out of that finalist, they all get notified, and then they have 6 weeks to put together a presentation or something. like
Right,
that.
because some people go, here's my concept sketch, and they just give you,
Yeah,
or they give you, hey, I've done these 3 pieces, I could do something like that here, but I want to hear what you guys want. So a lot of times they do that. So during that interview process, they, your group gives the feedback where it says, hey, we really want to have a focus on, it's an obelisk, or it's, giant cross, or whatever your shape is that you want to go after. And then they go, okay, cool. And then they come back with things that however they present
yeah,
creatively.
okay. Was there any other new business or announcements? All right, it's 6:18. PM, so meeting's formally adjourned.
Does anybody need a courtroom?
I didn't think about it when I pulled up, but I should have.
Can you still use that when it's $25 flat fee?
What's that?
I didn't park there
Oh.
because it's $25 flat fee for the event.
Oh, even when you enter, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, during hockey games, they change it?
Yeah.
did you already pay when you entered?
No, I did, I got on straight, but I was just thinking, because I used to get those out. I'm like-
They're officially called chasers.
Yeah, no, I waived off the $25.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
All
night.
right, thank
Have a
you
good
very
night.
much, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
I'm like, that's next week.
You turn your sharing off, you're still recording.
Oh.